Hello all my yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel and welcome to another edition of our mini mystery crochet along. Woo! Maybe I should sing jingle bells because you know what? This is a Christmas mini crochet along. It's also Friday Fun Day. Lots of fun stuff combined into one. Now, our mini mystery crochet along is where we do just a small project together, and it's a mystery. That's why the screen's all fuzzed out. It's a mystery until the end. Now, if you're impatient like I am and you just cannot wait till the end of the video, go ahead, like that arrow shows, and go fast forward to the end so you can see what it is. I'm certainly okay with that. I'm kind of like a lot of people. I want to know what's going on. So this is a smallish item. It measures about 7 inches long and about 3.5 inches wide. And it's a sweet project. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It can be an ornament. It can be a Christmas decoration. Whatever you want to do with it. They also make great party favors if you're having a get-together for Christmas, especially if you've got a bunch of children coming over for maybe a children's party at your church or Girl Scouts or club or something like that. When I say club, I mean like a Girl Scout club. Just get that straight. Alrighty. And so this is, like I said, a mini mystery crochet along. And so like our other mini mystery crochet alongs that we have done, it is a free Ravelry PDF download. I'll put that Ravelry link in the notes underneath this video. And then also you can find the free crochet pattern on my blog. And as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. And remember, there are lots of pictures there too. And if you want to click that link, you could also know ahead of time what we're doing today. I'm sorry, I am terrible at keeping secrets. All right, let's go and see what we need to make our project today. So it looks like we need a lot of different things, but some of these things are options. All right, so let's start with the yarn. We're going to be using medium weight number 4 acrylic yarns in 2 colors. Now I used solid for some and variegated for others. You can use whatever colors that you want. I'm using this like lemon yellow and this sage green today. And you're going to need approximately 1/2 ounce of 2 different colors. Okay? Medium weight number 4 acrylic yarns. And we're going to be stitching today with our H hook, which is a 5mm crochet hook. All right? You need a needle to weave in your ends and your scissors. Now, we're going to be making something that you're going to need to stuff something inside. And you can pick up some of these round plastic balls from Hobby Lobby. They're 50% off right now. And this measures 2.36 inches. Okay? So it's the smaller one. It is the round one. And when we use this, if you're going to use this, we'll take this metal piece on the end off. Okay? But you can either put a plastic ball inside or you can just grab a little bit of, I say a handful size of stuffing. That part is up to you. If you're going to do this with kids, both options work great if you're worried about that. Now you're also going to need some thin ribbons. And I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. And remember, all their Christmas stuff right now is 50% off. Okay? And you can use whatever colors that you want. Now I had this thin ribbon on hand. And it's this pretty yellow. And so I'm going to use that today to go along with what I'm making. Okay? But any thin ribbons, you can use striped ribbon, polka dot ribbon, solid ribbons. You can use thicker ribbons. There isn't a set size ribbon. You can see but right here, this one's extremely thin, or this one's not quite as thin. You're going to need 2 pieces that are approximately 18 inches long. That way you have enough to tie 2 bows. Okay? Now, the pom-poms are also an option. I picked these up at Hobby Lobby also. They were also 50% off. And they're a bag full of different sized, sparkly red and green Christmas pom-poms. But you can also use these pom-poms. And these are just over in the area where they have all of the, I'm going to say, felt stuff and pom-pom stuff. And this is just a bag of bunch of different sized pom-poms, and I thought it would be fun to use some different colors. Okay, and so those are just some options that you can use to make our project today. All right, let's go gather up some extra yarns left over, some extra thin ribbons left over, maybe some leftover pom-poms, and we can have some fun with this project. All right, let's get started. I've got my color 1. I'm going to make my slip knot, and we're going to chain 26 chains. And remember, this beginning chain, and anytime you're starting a beginning chain, make sure you don't stitch that beginning chain too tightly. All right, so let's chain 26 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have chained my 26 chains, and we're going to begin by stitching a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of those chains, working all the way across. All right, so 1 single crochet in each of the chains, working all the way across. And remember, we began in the second chain from the hook. So I started in the second chain from the hook and stitched 1 single crochet in each of my chains. So now I have 25 single crochets. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to do what's called stitching in the back loop only. All right, so if you look at your work, you'll see that you have loops on this side and loops on this side. We're going to be only stitching in those back loops. All right, so we'll go right in that first stitch and stitch in the back loop only. And we'll stitch 1 single crochet in each of our single crochets, stitching in the back loop only. Now, if you want to make sure you're doing it right, if you look at it, you'll see this row here of loops we didn't stitch in, and it'll make that nice ridge. All right, so 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets, working all the way across and stitching in the back loops only. I have completed row 2, stitching 1 single crochet in each of our back loops across, and you can see that ridge that forms right there. Now I did not chain 1 because we're going to be bringing in our next color. So I'm going to bring in my yellow, snug that down, and then chain 1. Now I am not going to cut off my color 1 because we're going to be doing every 2 rows, and so we'll just carry our yarn up the side. All right, so I'm going to turn my work, and again we're going to go right in that first stitch, and we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of those back loops, working all the way across. If you can do a single crochet and a back loop single crochet, this is a piece of cake, or maybe something else. It really is quite easy. All right, so I want to take a look at this real quick so you see what's going on. We're stitching in the back loop again, and on the back side here we have this indentation in the back. That's exactly how we want it to look. It's going to give it a textured look. Okay? And so we're going to stitch in each single crochet again, stitching in the back loop only. I have completed row 3. We changed to our color 2. We stitched 1 single crochet in each of our single crochets, stitching in the back loop only. Now we're not changing colors right now, so we're going to chain 1 and turn. All right, and now we're just going to repeat what we've been doing. 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets across, working in the back loops only. There we go. Didn't want to get on my hook. Alrighty. There we go. Tighten up my tension there just a little bit. Alright, and so we're just going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of our single crochets, again working in the back loops only. So I have completed row 4, again stitching 1 single crochet in each of our back loops only, and I'm not going to chain 1 because I'm going to be changing to my color 1. We're going to leave color 2 attached. We'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work. Now, when you're switching back and forth from 2 colors, you might get a little tangled. So what I do, after every row, I just take my balls of yarn or my skeins or whatever I'm working on and just quickly untangle it. That way it keeps me from getting all frustrated, okay? Alright, so now we're just going to repeat for the next 2 rows exactly what we just did, only working in color 1. Alright, so we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets across, stitching in those back loops only. And we're going to do this for 2 rows. So we're repeating row 3 and row 4 for 2 more rows using our color 1. Alright, so I have completed row 6, and we repeated row 3 and row 4 for row 5 and row 6, only using our color 1. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to continue to repeat row 3 and row 4 for 10 more rows, alternating your colors every 2 rows. It's super easy. We've been doing this, and I think you're going to find it's going to stitch up really super quick. All right, so we're going to continue repeating 1 single crochet in each, stitching in the back loops only, which is row 3 and row 4. And we're going to continue to repeat row 3 and row 4 for 10 more rows, alternating your colors every 2 rows. So I have completed those 10 additional rows, so I have a total of 16 rows. And the best way to count those, I'm going to turn this over. The best way to count your rows, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. All right. Now, what we're going to do, you can see I have a lot of ends to weave in, and we'll do that in just a minute. But I wanted you to see this side here. This is where we carried our yarns. And you can see it still is very stretchy, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look like it's mess. So make sure that you don't pull those too tightly, and you don't let those droop, okay? Alrighty, now we're going to take this, we're going to put it together in a tube. Make sure we got the right side out. And again, the right side is kind of up to you on this project because we went back and forth. But I like to make sure that it's where I started this chain with my first row. This is my front side. But you can look at yours and see which side you like better. Okay? Don't worry about your ends. We're going to weave those in just a minute. We're going to put our 2 lengthwise ends together. And we're going to single crochet it together. And it's important that you do a single crochet because that's going to mimic those those back post stitches so that it blends in nicely. All right. And so we're going to stitch all the way down, single crochets, stitching it together to form a tube. And you might have already guessed what we're making by now. Or some of you probably already looked towards the end of the video. I bet you did. It's okay. I'm totally okay with that. And you know what? I probably would do the same thing. Alrighty, so I'm just going to continue stitching down. We're making this into a tube. So I continued stitching all the way down, and I want to show you how it mimics that front post so it just blends right in what we're doing. Alright, so let me grab my scissors here. We're going to cut that yarn. And now I need to tie this off and weave in all my ends. Alright, and you want to make sure you weave them in under to the inside. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of come this way and make sure I weave that to the inside. And if these are going to be played with, you know, like with children, or you're going to toss them around the room or something, I don't know why it always ends that way with my grandkids. We're always just throwing stuff at each other. Don't worry, it's all soft stuff. Alright, well, let's make sure those ends are weaved in securely. And I've got one more over here to do and these two over here to do. And then I'll show you how to put this all together. Alright, so I have stitched my end together lengthwise. I weaved in all my ends. So we have this tube. Alright, now you need to decide which thing you want to put inside. You want to use the plastic ball. And if you do, just pull this metal part out and you can just slide this right inside into the center. Just like that. You want to turn that end so it's on an end so it doesn't mess with the shape of our piece of candy, Christmas candy. You can do that, or you can use the stuffing. That's probably a little too much there. I like to kind of take it and kind of roll it into a ball a little bit and then stick it in the center. And again, you can put as much stuffing in there as you want to. That is totally up to you. I am going to use the plastic ball this time though. And I have in my basket, I have two that are stuffed and one that has the plastic ball. So I thought I'd just go ahead and use the ball again. I like it. I like that it holds its shape really well. Okay. So then you need to cut your two pieces of ribbon. You want to make sure whatever you put in there is centered. And if you use that plastic ball, make sure the end is to the end so it doesn't disrupt the shape of your ball inside your candy. Okay, you don't want a bump sticking out. All right, so we're going to center that. We're going to take our ribbon, and you need to decide where you want the top or the front of your piece of candy, Christmas candy, to be. And we're going to tie that knot nice and securely, and then add the bow. That way it doesn't come out. If someone pulls on that ribbon and pulls that bow out, you've still got a beautiful ribbon there on the end, and it's not going to come undone. All right, now we'll do the other side. Nice and secure, and then tie our bow. Now it's super cute this way with just the bow, but I love adding the extra little pom-poms. I'm going to trim these so they're the same. I always cut them way too long, but it's okay. I'd rather them be too long than not long enough. There we go. I want this one to have a little point on the end. Goodness gracious. There. All right. So now there's our Christmas candy with its bow. Isn't that cute? Now you can leave it this way. It looks super cute. You don't have to add the little pom-poms. I just want to because I think it just adds just a little bit of color and fun to this project. And I've got my hot glue gun already. And so what I'm going to do is just blob a little bit of glue on there, right on top of the bow. And I'm going to stick some of these. I decided to go with some different colors, not just the yellow, but I'm going to make sure I put a yellow one on each side. I'm just squishing it in there. Because see, doesn't that add some fun color to it? All right, now on this side, do the same thing. Glob some glue on there. Put that blue one in the middle. And I always like to either do 1 pom-pom or 3. I don't know why. I just like it that way. And see how that looks with all those fun colors? Because Christmas pom-poms don't have to be, or Christmas candy ornaments don't have to be, you know, just red and green. If you want to make this into an ornament, just take some of your matching ribbon, slide it through, and you can hang it up. But what I did is I just set them on my tree. I didn't put an ornament hanger on there. I just set them on my tree. Isn't that cute? All right, let me grab the other ones. So here are my 4 Christmas candies that you can use for ornaments, party favors, just for decoration, for fun. Give them to Girl Scouts, classes, whatever you want to do with them. There's just so much fun to make. And it's a wonderful way to use up a bunch of leftover ribbons, pom-poms, and of course, medium weight number 4 yarn. This one here is left over from our Afghan that we made, the peppermint shimmer granny square Afghan. So I thought I'd make a Christmas ornament. Isn't that beautiful? It turned out just gorgeous. These 2 are just, of course, your basic Christmas colors. And then this one, I wanted it to be just a little bit different and fun. Just so that you can see, you can use variegateds, solids, whatever you want. And I used 2 colors on each one. You can do as many colors as you want to. Make it all different colors. It's a lot of fun. Leftover yarn, leftover pom-poms, leftover ribbons. And you've got some gorgeous Christmas candies.